all are excited and enjoying the sessions. I'm very excited. There are two reasons why I'm excited. It's my hometown. So I'm born and brought up here. And yep, it gives me, I've always dreamed about that I get an opportunity to do a live presentation here. And thanks to the ET team to give me that opportunity to live that moment. The second reason is I'm very honored that I'm giving this presentation in front of the best industry leader who are the early adopters of the technology, who drives innovation, as well who are disrupting the market, right? So with that, I'll begin my presentation. So I have met a lot of folks yesterday, and they were keen to understand that what Cloudera is all about, what you guys are doing, how you can help us. So in the next 15-20 minutes, what I'll try to do is I'll take you over of what we do, what we offer, and how we are relevant to our business. So let's take a pause and see how a successful enterprise looks like. You all are here and you represent those big enterprises, right? If you see, there are three things, in my opinion, which drive the enterprises. The first one is, how can I increase my revenue and profitability, right? If we just go one level down with that, it talks about capturing the market share. It talks about gaining more customer, and customer can mean different, like for enterprise, it can vary. It can, for a government, it could be citizens of India. For hospital, it could be patient. So that can change from enterprise to enterprise. And how can I retain the existing customers? So increasing the revenue is very critical for becoming a successful enterprise. The second one is, once I'm successful, once I have captured the market and I'm growing in scale, how can I reduce my operational overhead? That's very important, right? So what are the efficiencies I can bring in my operations? How can I improvise my product quality? The third one, which is again very important, is bringing the predictability in the business operation, reducing the risk and revenue leakage. When we talk about revenue leakage, it could be because of fraud, it could be because of the compliance issues. So how can I ensure that I have got predictability around those challenges, those risks which are involved in my business? And if you see, to get all this, there is one thing which is very important for organizations, for enterprises to look at. And that is to become data-driven. And I think no one will discount that data sits at the heart of becoming a successful enterprise. We have enormous examples for industries across who have achieved that. But one question which I'll ask to the audience, how many of you think that you are a data-driven organization? Can you please raise hand? Almost everyone. How many of you think that you are successful in becoming a data-driven organization? With that, I mean you have achieved the business outcomes with which you have started the data journey. So I can see there were around 70 to 80% guys who have raised their hand, and only handful of guys who said that they are successful. If you see, the same thing has been reflected by the market research and the economist. The economist says that there is a huge opportunity for the enterprises to become data-driven, and three things which sits in the heart of it is artificial intelligence. We are hearing right from the beginning what people are talking about. The IoT, which increases the data ingestion, data sources which can be captured and can be consumed to do analytics. And the third is augmented reality. Uh, the reality is that though organizations have started on the data-driven journey, but they have not been successful, and Gartner resonate that. So what are the challenges which we see have been there, which has stopped the enterprises to achieve those business outcomes, right? The first thing, the foremost thing is data silos. So if you look at the way the technology has evolved over the period, I mean, there are operational application which has been deployed at the front end to enhance the customer experience. But because there have been different business needs, you see the entire landscape looks fragmented. You see more and more applications, siloed system, which stops giving the single source of truth. So you have your data fragmented across the organization. Different customers have different experience across the channels through which they connect with the enterprise. The second one is data volume. So there is a increase in the data volume. As we talk about the IoT, the new data sources are increasing. We talk about the web data, the clickstream, the alternate data. All that is coming in, which can help the organization to extract value. So the current platform is not able to deal with those challenges, the data volume growth. The third one is the new data sources that I talked about, the semi-structured, unstructured data. These are the new type of data. So the legacy platform that we look at it, they're not able to consume the data in the same format which is coming in. Also, if we see the traditional architecture, it's mostly defined based on the streaming, and I mean, they talk about the batch data, they do not talk about the real data, real-time data. So if you see, if I'm not leveraging the information which is coming in real time, I may not be able to generate the right insight which is relevant to the customer. For example, the attention span of the customers have reduced drastically. If you're not able to capture that to generate the revenue, I mean, you can lose that customer easily. Like someone visiting at a mall, you push an offer, and if he's right there interested to buy something, he will capitalize on it, else may not. The foremost important is because there is a increase in the volume, there is also increase in the computational ask. The artificial intelligence or machine learning terms which we keep hearing on and off. I mean, the background, if we look at it, the underlying compute requirement is very, very high, right? So are the current systems able to meet those compute asks? Probably not. There are technology limitations other than the scaling of compute. These are proprietary solutions. So the innovations is not happening at the pace which you would expect. So your needs are increasing, but you are limited by the vendors who are not able to innovate at this pace. So you would need someone who can come up with that open architecture and help you out in driving those innovations as the customer is asking. And you need to be future ready, right? So the current existing system, if you see, they are more on-prem. We talk about cloud. So there are areas which we see why a cloud is required or why there is a shift in the underlying infrastructure. So future readiness is very important. So there is a technology limitation which is causing enterprises to move forward with that. So let's understand why the data-driven journey is difficult. And if you see, there are 5 layers. The first one is data, and then you do analytics on top of it, right? So if you just look at it, this pyramid, the first analytics level that we look at is what happened and why it happened. And also, what is happening is not part of it, but with the streaming data coming in, that's exactly what organizations are looking at. But yeah, So that's the other part of it, of the analytics stream. The next part is what will happen, which is the predictability in the business, right? So those two things which help us to arrive those points are data science and machine learning. So data science, you can treat it as a framework, a methodology which will allow the enterprises to go and look into the data, mine the data, and extract the insightful information from it. Machine learning provides you the set of algorithms which will allow you to build those predictability around the data, around the insight. But are we limited with that machine learning? Probably not. Because unless I take out that predictability and put it back into the action, that's where artificial intelligence comes in. I think there was a ma'am who mentioned that artificial intelligence is like causing people to lose job, right? So the way I see it, artificial intelligence is taking out the work which is mundane, repeatable, and it is pushing people to move towards high value chain, skillful work. That's also the Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. So once I have the predictability around, what I need to do is I need to put it back into my workflow process, which will take certain actions. So I'm helping machine to take the decision instead of humans taking it. And that's quite possible, easy for the machines to do it because it's a repeatable work. But yeah, you do not have that ability for high value work. So if we just combine all those challenges and you see the fragmented approach of the current system, what do we need in terms of required capabilities to deliver that? You need to have a platform which can do machine learning, data science, analytics, all in one platform. It can be run on any kind of data, anywhere, without any problem, and it can scale as required. So we as a Cloudera provide you a modern data platform, which is a multi-analytics platform, right? So when we say multi-analytics, you're looking for different analytics stream. It may not be data warehouse, it can also be data science, it could be data engineering, it could be data flow. You do not want to be hellbound with certain infra requirements, right? When I say infra, I mean traditionally you see most of the data centers are being set up with bare metal. Now you are looking at the virtualization layer, which brings the elasticity, which brings the scale up, scale down facility, which changes the CapEx model to OpEx model and allows the infra team to manage the hardware in a better fashion, right? And with cloud coming in, that just take it to the next level. So you would need a platform which can support which is hardware agnostic. It can be deployed on any kind of hardware. Since we talked about in the earlier session that cyber security, the next generation, the war is not going to happen at the land. It would be more at the data level. So governing, securing this information is highly critical. So you would need a platform which can ensure that all the data that has been captured, because it's customer centric, it contains sensitive information. So that is highly secured. And the most important thing is we need to move on from the proprietary solution. And the reason we look at it is because of the innovation which is needed. You need an open architecture. When I say open architecture, it means you have the ability to consume what is right for your organization in terms of the technology stack. You are able to drive the innovation not with the vendor specific, but from a community approach. So you would like to invest in open source. And the story which we heard earlier from Vistara, from the Vistara, that's exactly mentioned the same thing, that they invested into an open source platform. So what do we do? So we deliver a next generation enterprise data cloud platform which can be deployed anywhere. So if you see, you have your data center, you have your public cloud, multi-cloud. The reason we have put multi-cloud, because you do not want an application, a platform which is running only on single cloud vendor. So think of from the infrastructure, it covers the length and breadth of all the possible infrastructure deployment. You see the application layer, all the use cases that falls from an analytics perspective can be deployed on this platform. Whether it's data flow and streaming, you ingesting the data as it's coming, typically used for IoT use cases. Data engineering, where you do heavy lifting. Once the data is into the platform, you do all the transformation and enrichment. Data warehouse, which is the traditional way of extracting the insight. Operational DB, real-time reports, dashboards to see what is happening currently. And the machine learning, the data science one. So this single platform allows you the capability to do all kind of analytics. If we just look at it, this slide, the secret sauce which allows this entire thing to be delivered is the SDX. So when we say SDX, is the shared data experience across all these infrastructure. So your data can reside at any of these places, but this single platform will ensure that you have a single source of truth where multiple disciplinary analytics is running. You get the data flow experience, you get the data engineering experience, you get the data warehouse experience, all on a single platform. And it is open source. So in terms of snapshot, what Cloudera is, we just merged with Hortonworks. So the entire landscape has changed. We are like almost a $750 million revenue generated company. We are targeting to be a $1 billion company in the next financial year. We have acquired 2,000 customers across the globe. In last 2.5 years within India, we have acquired 35 plus customers. We work with largest banks. We work with stock exchanges. We work with Ministry of Taxation. We work with all the 3 telcos in India. And we have the support center, the engineering center. We have the professional services. The entire length and breadth is available in India to support the organization to get those business outcomes. If you see, whatever the business outcomes I was talking about, Transamerica is an example which has extracted the customer insight. For Asia, a manufacturing unit has reduced manufacturing costs and improvised the product quality using our platform. FireEye has delivered the zero-day attacks and stopping advanced persistent threat, the cybersecurity use case. The data-driven journey, if you see, goes at 3 levels. One is the fundamental step is modernizing your existing landscape. So whatever is the legacy platform you have, you need to move it to the new platform. And then define what are the use cases that would be delivered on that. We do not do this alone. We do it with partners. They are the equal stakeholders in it. So what you should do next, like, if any of these questions pop up in your mind, you can contact us. We'll be there at the booth. Thank you.